Oh, yeah. What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's get into it. I ain't gonna hold y'all all day. I want to thank you guys for another solid month. I wish you guys great health, blessings, all that across the board. Now, let's get to the sports. One of the greatest wide receivers and greatest football players ever, Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice has come out and made a statement. Jerry Rice said, Kobe Bean Bryant, the Beanster, is, and I repeat, is the greatest. Now, he could have said Michael Jordan, but he didn't. And this was shocking to a lot of LeBron James fans. Why, I have no idea, but it was shocking to them. And he based it off of you got to put the work in to be considered the greatest of all time. You got to put the work in. That's what was telling about everything that he said. You got to put the work in. And who was willing to do that more than Kobe Bryant? Nobody was willing to put that work in except for probably Jordan. And this come from other peers. Like they don't have any ties, no media connections with him, or we're business partners, or I need something from you. Kobe isn't even here anymore. And everybody is talking about him. And I do mean everybody. They are coming at him from all angles. So, what the league seem to be doing is by honoring LeBron, the only way they honor him is they got to talk bad about everybody else. Have you noticed that? Now, if you're a fan of LeBron James, be a fan of LeBron James. That's fine. If you want to be a fan of that, that's fine. I don't blame people who are in their 20s who are fans of LeBron James. They don't know any better. So when they were coming up watching the game, Kobe was at the end of his years, getting injured, and LeBron was just this anomaly. They don't remember Kobe's first 3 championships. They don't remember that era. When they start watching basketball and start paying attention, LeBron was basically probably his last couple of years in Cleveland and going to Miami. Most of them only know him from the Miami the first time. They don't remember the first 7, 8 years of LeBron. Now, when they said Michael Jordan was the greatest, did they have to tear down whoever was number two. When they was talking about Kobe and his greatness, did they tear down Michael Jordan? No, they never did that. They never ever tore down Michael Jordan when they were saying Kobe was better. They never did. And Jerry Rice understands greatness. So it isn't like Jerry Rice just came out of nowhere and just started talking. Jerry Rice is greatness. That man is preparation. I've seen Jerry Rice. I've met Jerry Rice. The man is perfection. He's high on standards. And he doesn't take lightly his job and his role of what he does. You know, Jerry Rice is very efficient. And when it comes to making amends or making up for something that he might have done wrong out there on the field. So he knows the best way to be prepared and have a long career like he did was to be ready at all times by putting in a regimen of discipline to be great all the time, every time, not to come up short. And he felt through Kobe's preparation and what he's done, he earned it. He earned the right, and you gotta earn it. And to me, that was a shot more at LeBron. Because the question is always, LeBron is the best. But Jerry didn't feel that way. He didn't feel, he saw LeBron earning it. And Kobe earned it. He earned to be called the greatest of all time. He earned it. And that's what matters to Jerry. More than anything. Notice, fanboys, we didn't go into statistics. I don't have to tell you about Kobe scored this many points in the third quarter, or in fourth quarters he's number 3, and third quarter efficiency, and then in the last 2 minutes of the fourth, and like that's not basketball. That's for stat nerds who want to have something to argue with somebody. I don't have to argue, really, to know that Kobe Bryant is a better basketball player than LeBron James. I mean, who we kidding? Offensively to defensively, those players are respected and revered. Nobody fears LeBron defensively. They never did. He wasn't a great defender. He didn't have great movement. He don't have great footwork. Even on the offensive end, he doesn't. It's like he got 2 club feet. And he can't really move. So the differences come into play. And when your peers start to say, who's the best? You never heard Michael Jordan or Kobe said, I want my respect. When they're in like year 20, year 19, year 18, I want my respect. Nah, sorry, bro. If they don't respect you now, in 18 years in the league, nobody respects you. You're not going to get it now. They really don't respect you now. You can't win a bubble championship and then try to talk about, I want my respect. Like, dude, you're playing against a bunch of people out of shape, sitting on the couch, worried about getting home to their families. They're not thinking about this. Most of these people were forced to come in to get the money. Whenever there's a debate on should we even play, come on, That's not, we're locked in for this. It's insanity. Now, I think Jerry West is 100% accurate in his assessment, but I think it's just more to it than that. More to it. Because in my eyes, people seem to get it wrong.
He went 5-2 in the finals.
Main reason that I feel that Kobe is constantly disrespected in this whole
But that's what I said,
and everything. I'm not saying that y'all did it. I'm just saying, period. That I feel like I literally had to guard him, prime, 3P, all the way to whatever you want to say. Like, please, bruh,
It's different.
bruh, you hear me? Like, please, what are y'all talking about?
It's ridiculous.
My top 5 is MJ, Kobe, easy Kobe.
Easy number 2 ever.
Exactly.
I don't even want to say number 2. He's like, they just uphill with
Man, bro, like, and they disrespect him constantly.
He was
like,
just
nobody had the mentality that he had. Like, man, that man was like, it's kill everybody all the time. Can't nobody fight me. You say something to me, I'm putting 50 on you. And I'm not saying it. I'm talking about literally, I'm about to try and put 50 on you.
Yes. Top 5 all time. Who's in your top 5?
Michael, Oscar, Wilt, Kareem, Bill Russell,
Those are your top 5.
Kobe, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Hakeem, Jerry West. Those are my top 10.
Now, when you talk about greatness, other players who've played this game at a very high level, who was dominant. These ain't guys that came in here and just played their position. We're talking about guys who were the man in the game. They respect Kobe. I don't feel that you need proof to say that Kobe Bryant is better than LeBron James. I mean, that's a common sense test. And you say, well, Zeno, what is your assessment of that? It's the same way I said, I don't just say LeBron sucked, LeBron a bum, without telling you why LeBron James is a bum. I don't tell you why Kobe Bryant is great. I will explain to you why he is better. Mental approach to the game. Discipline. Skill set. That means all of it. Footwork. There's no uncomfortable position you could put him in on the court and he can't make a shot. That man can make something happen on every play. Can we say that about LeBron James? You've had to question LeBron James' heart. No one's ever questioned Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant's heart. Nobody. Let me tell you again, nobody has had to question their heart. But you have to question LeBron James' heart. You can't be considered a greatest of all time player and someone is questioning your heart. He quits and bails on his teams. Bad body language player. He's on the bench pouting. Don't want to go out there and mentally shut down in games. He was mad at J.R. Smith for not passing the ball so that they could get a shot off before it went to overtime. Because J.R. thought they were leading when he got the ball. And he totally forget George Hill missed the free throw that would have put them ahead one. He got totally forgotten about. JR got to blame when the game was just going into overtime. There was 5 more minutes to play. And you scored no points. In an NBA Finals game, there's no excuse for it. You can't be compared to those guys. Michael Jordan kept all those guys from winning championships. Patrick Ewings, Reggie Millers, the Charles Barkleys. The reason that they don't have championships is because Mike got them. He stopped guys in his era from winning championships. They couldn't ascend and get one. He stopped them completely from winning championships. Kobe Bryant, the Penny Hardaways, Vince Carters, the Allen Iversons. He stopped them from winning championships. They are the reason. Kobe's the reason they don't have championships. That was a reason. So, for 7 years, that man was doing that. Now, in this era, it's reversed. LeBron had been to the finals 10 times. Well, really 9. Who's he stopping? Jimmy Butler? Kevin Durant got championships. Steph Curry got championships. Giannis has got a championship. You see what I'm saying? His peers are bringing in championships. He ain't stopping that. They literally are getting championships on your watch. Kawhi Leonard got championships on your watch. On your time. So when was your era? When was it your era? What they gonna say? You the reason that the original Big Three didn't win more. You could say that the old guys couldn't get it done. No more. But the Giants of the East were Detroit and Boston. y'all came into prominence and started battling for that position, for that spot, they run was coming to an end. Rip, Chauncey, and all them. But don't get it twisted. There's no illusion here. When we talk about greatness, a lot of you guys like to go with the LeBron makes everyone better. When there's no evidence of that at all. The evidence is they get worse. Kevin Love played better when he was in Minnesota than he did when he was in Cleveland. Kyrie Irving, better games is when he didn't play with LeBron James. Right? So that analogy doesn't make any sense. When there's no evidence to back that up. Now, let's look at the other coin. The other coin y'all like to say is, well, LeBron could pass. He's more of a facilitator, which is true. His game more exhibits what Magic is to do. But you act like Kobe Bryant can't pass a basketball. Since you guys like stats, Kobe averaged almost 6 assists a game. From a two guard, that's one of the highest in league history for average for a two guard. So Kobe passed the ball to people. If you're just not scoring when he gets you the goddamn ball. So his job wasn't to run the point. That's not Kobe's job. They have set plays that they run. Guys have to know their position. They have to know the assignment. And you got to know why you're there, man. You got to know why you're laying it on the line every night. And there is no question Kobe Bryant is light years above LeBron James. They're not, it's an insult to put them right next to each other. That's bad. Kobe is in the elite, and you're not going to get in the elite. There's never been in the history of mankind, how are we sitting here saying a guy is the greatest player of all times, and he's not one of the greatest defenders? Never. If you talk about Isaiah Thomas played defense too. You just didn't hear about it. But he's on one of the greatest defensive teams in the history of basketball. And offense, come on. What we talking about? This player could average 40 a night. He wouldn't win championships. But statistically, you've been saying this dude is the best player we've seen. Who could stop Isaiah from getting 40? No one. When he wanted to get 40, he got 40. when he wanted to send a message, he sent it. When they kept him out the dream team and they put Stockton over him, he embarrassed John. And in front of the whole world, it pissed off the NBA. And poor John had to suffer the blunt of that. From crossovers to everything. Zeke lit him up for over 40. So when he wanted to send a message, he could. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. One of probably the most successful careers from high school on up you've ever seen. Now, when you look at defense, Kareem would block your shot. He was tough. He wasn't just one side of the ball. Michael Jordan, right? Okay, do I even need to say all the defensive teams he's on, first team, all defense? Like, are you crazy? Are you crazy to say, and I can't stand him. Can't stand Michael Jordan. But I can't take away what he did. And he carried the league into $1 billion industry. The NBA siphoned off of Michael Jordan and his greatness. He put greatness on the court. They didn't need a magnet ball. They didn't need to make 50 million changes. The guy was box office. When he came to town, people rushed to fill the stands. When Michael Jordan would play on the West Coast, people only got to see him one time a year. So when he would travel, they only get to see him once. And that's it. Unless they meet in the finals. So those games were important. When Michael Jordan got suspended and the Bulls had to play the Phoenix Suns, go to Phoenix, and they didn't have Michael Jordan. This the year before they got Charles Barkley. Once that happened, Jordan was suspended. The fans of the Phoenix Suns, because naturally you'll say, well, hey, if they got him, they got a shot to win. They didn't care about winning the game. They wanted to see Michael Jordan. And this was the one time they had a chance to see Michael Jordan. And they begged the NBA to suspend Michael Jordan during one of the Bulls' home games. They put together a petition to try to stop the NBA from suspending Michael Jordan on his next game. And this was all due to the Reggie Miller fight. Because there was so much backlash. Because if they'd have just thrown him out the game against the Pacers, he wouldn't have been suspended. But because they played him the whole game and threw Reggie Miller out when Michael Jordan is the one that stormed it, it was sending a bad precedence. That one that everybody knew was there, that was a double standard for Mike. And against, every other player in the league. And that double standard showed up that night. was the day a lot of people learned what the word double standard meant. I'm serious. It's a double standard. It's a double standard. It's a double standard. That quote was everywhere. So the NBA foolishly suspended Michael Jordan for that Phoenix Suns game. And the fans were ticked off because they all were selling their tickets and saying they weren't going. So the scalpers were stuck with a lot of tickets to that game. People weren't showing up. Now, here is the biggest factoid in the game. And what I mean by factoid, I mean this is the biggest scenario you could ever see and witness. When you think in your own heart of hearts what's going on in the game, and you start telling yourself, this is how the game should be played, Sonny. This is the game. This is basketball. Once you start going into that trope and everybody else's opinion don't mean anything, I know a guy who believes the greatest player of all time that he ever seen play in his life was Tracy McGrady. And he felt Tracy McGrady was better than Kobe. And we would have this debate and go back and forth. But I'm like, he can't get out of the first round of the playoffs. We would have this battle back and forth. If it wasn't for T-Mac, there wouldn't be the Black Mamba. But T-Mac, Vince Carter, all those guys, more people that Kobe kept from winning championships. But the thing is, Kobe competed against T-Mac, and they both went battling. But down that stretch, where I've seen T-Mac fade in many games, he faded away. Down the stretch of games sometimes. He has his sets where he likes to get the ball, do his things, and he's long, hard defender. Very underrated. I couldn't take that away from him. I know somebody who thinks Tim Duncan is the greatest player that ever played the game. I know a guy that says Wilt is the greatest ever. And no one could ever even be in the category of Wilt. And I understand that. But all of these people were two-way basketball players. LeBron is not a two-way basketball player. He's one way. Why wouldn't Steph Curry be mentioned in this category? They take away Steph Curry's defense because he's so good offensively. Oh, he don't play defense. That's a lie. It's an absolute lie to try to tarnish him because he's already eclipsed the guy who the most of you believe is the greatest player of all time. And it's like, well, if he's the greatest player of all time, then where's Steph Curry? Where would Steph Curry fit in this? He even got this guy that y'all say is the best of all time Trying to play like him. Doing step back threes. Besides James Harden, Steph was the one doing it. Pull up from 60 feet, nailing them like they regular jump shot. Nobody was doing that. This dude came in and destroyed the league. He broke the game. It was nothing like him. That's greatness. That's what getting it done looks like. Now, I want to say shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. Jerry Rice is correct. Shouts out to Jerry Rice. Ticket TV. Welcome to HDII TV. Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez. And I'm out the door. It's your boy Carcino for Life. Don't forget to follow the Patreon. Carcino for Life Patreon. Hopefully you guys have hit the super chat button. Appreciate your time. I'm out.
Who's the hardest to defeat? Mike and Kobe. Mike and Kobe, just thinking, attack every single moment on the floor. And the mentality and the way they wear you down with their approach would be the two guys I would say. All-time great competitor. The only guy that I would put in the discussion, because both of these guys, unfortunately, the late great Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, in my opinion, the two guys I ever played against that was willing to leave it all on the court. And I mean it all. They were willing to, if it meant drop dead on the floor, those two guys, I'm convinced, would be willing to do that for the victory. Now, I would say this, as great as a competitor as I am, that ain't my testimony. I want to win, but not at that expense. Not at that expense. I'm not willing to take my last breath and win.